Chapter continuation from Canto number 4 and chapter number 1 and 2. We are going to get more detail, but we will read the translation or the shlokas from the Canto number 2, where we will get the more detail about the Daksh Maharaj and why he think that he got offended and he start cursing Lord Shiva. After seeing that one, then Lord Shiva, their disciple or associate, Nandeshwar, and all the people, they start cursing all the Brahmanas and the Daksh party. So when they are start cursing, then all the curse, as a Lord Shiva is a great Vaishnavas, is topmost personality. Then after seeing this one, he left that assembly. So that's what today we are going to little bit discuss and read the translation from this. So now the question is, the last week also the topic was, the discussion point was, why great personality? This is question for everyone, for myself. Why the great personality, they don't got, let's say in the simple word is, they, if you offend them, they don't take the insult very easily. But if you insult their disciple or their follower, then they cannot tolerate. This is what we are going to learn from the Lord Shiva. That's the personality he is. He got insulted in front of entire assembly. All the Brahmana was Brahma was there. Many great acharyas, Rishi, Muni, Brahmana was there, and the Daksh was insulting him. When he insulted Lord Shiva, very quietly and peacefully left the assembly. But the later, when the Daksh, that Prajapati, he insulted Sati, Shiva not able to tolerate. He demolished everyone. So that's what the lesson for everyone, which we are going to learn, that why the great personality, they can take the insult very easily. They don't have any problem. But once it will come to their own disciple or their follower, all the pure devotees, then they cannot tolerate. They will guaranteed give you the punishments. So with that, let's come back to the chapter number 1 of Canto 4. Canto 4, the chapter 1 is talking about, let me open that thing, talking about all the Swambhavu Manu. We heard that one. We learn in Canto number 1 when all the progenies, the Brahma and all the things was going on, and that time our sages were asked some questions. Can you tell to the Sutta Goswami? Can you tell me how this entire progenies through the Manu and all the way down, how this is happened? And this is what is explained, and the answer is here, where the Maitreya Muni is giving the answer to Vidura. That discussion, Sutta Goswami is narrating to the sages. So now in this chapter number 1, the entire logical table of the daughter of Manus. So how many of you remember how many daughter or son Swambhavu Manu had? We learned this one. There are 3 daughters and 2 sons. And the 3 daughter name was Satyarupa. The Swambhavu Manu wife was Satyarupa, but their 3 daughter name is Akuti, Devahuti and Prasuti. And we heard in the last canto about the Devahuti, very detailed. Devahuti was wife of, anyone remember? Kardama Muni, right? Kardama Muni. And she is the mother of Lord Kapila. And she asked many questions about all the materialistic and the life and everything. And she wants to get to know that one, how to come out of this. So that's what we know about one of the daughter from Swambhavu Manu. She was mother of Lord in herself, Devahuti. She is very great personality. So now we are trying to understand that entire progenies, right? Now the two other daughters, Akuti and Prasuti. So now in this entire chapters, the entire detail of who was uh, mother of Ravana, Kumkaran, and this is also coming into the different things. Some of the Kashyapa Munis, some of the demons came, Hiranyakashipu, and some of the mother and Ravan and they are from the great personality. Their mother and the father was not the order like ordinary person, but they born in that family with some limitations, something they have demon mentalities. That's where, and this is again the part of the Leela which Lord want to perform, because the curse given to the all the Jayadev, Jay and Vijay, and they have to take the birth, and they have to take the birth with the some problem, and then the Lord will come and they are going to be free up after Lord will kill them. So what we learn from this I'm not going to read all the translation, also is a lot of details, and I would prefer you should read, and then we can discuss about the each personality in maybe the next class. So if you go through is very nicely, but it's so much of technical, and the names I myself I read twice, I don't remember the name. It's difficult, because if you say that, okay, they have 10 daughters and one has 60,000 children. So and there are again the further we know that Kardama Muni, how many daughters she has? Anyone remember? We just finished like last canto. Kardama Muni, Devahuti. Devahuti has how many daughters and how many sons? We don't remember that also. 9 daughters and 1 son. What is the name of son? Lord Kapila. Correct? So this is the recently we read 9 daughters and this, and the 9 daughters are given to all the sages to have the expansions of all the progenies. And one of the daughter, she has 60,000 children. It's difficult to imagine, right? To imagine the when Shuru mein, okay, Krishna was married to 16,000. Now 16,000 is itself is like this difficult. How he is managing? And each wife, Krishna has the 10 son. If you look at the family, it's 16,000 times 10s, and each son has their own thing. So is it going in the 100,000 and millions? And how they are managing is like the one entire country should belongs to them, right? This is only we are talking about 16,000, and now we are hearing the 60,000 kids. And before in that Pandava and Kaurava, right? Yudhishthira, he has 100 son. That itself is very difficult to understand. Okay, how they remember the 100? Correct. Now we are going in the Kali Yuga. When we heard, okay, they have 10 children. Oh my gosh, how they are managing 10 now? So these are the details. It's very difficult to understand each and every name. But just for the understanding, if you go through this one, then you will know that Swambhavu Manu, 3 daughter, 2 son, they are expansion, and each expansions, and finally when we'll come to the Daksh Maharaj, when the Atri Muni, there is a one detail of Atri, just read that one, is very nice. And finally when we come to the Sati, 16 daughter of Daksh Maharaj, the 16th daughter, that is the key point we have to remember. 16th daughter of Daksh Maharaj, she was married to Lord Shiva. That's where our chapter number 2 will start, and where we are going to go through that one. But this, the chapter number 1, all the details, I would request, please go through at least the translation. And it doesn't have, Prabhupada didn't give the purport in all of them. It's very simple read. But some places, Prabhupada mentioned where the differentiation from the consciousness, he was explaining some purport. So go through that. It's very easy. It's just a numbers. I'm sure that you are not going to remember all. So many names are there. But the core part is the Swambhavu Manu, three daughters, Akuti, Devuti, and Prasuti. These three daughters, they are all expansions. And the two sons, they are supermost like a top king of that time. So that also mentioned. But we will learn more about their the children's in the future chapters. But if you go through this, it will give you the two sons of the Swambhavu Manu name is Priyavarta and Uttanapada. We will learn more about these two personalities. They are very great king. It says that they are very powerful king, and their son and the great son all over the three world. The expansion happened that side. But the one thing, when I was hearing, most of these Rishi Muni, they are keep on talking about the more daughters, come less son and more daughters, because they want to expand. Again, this is the Leela of our Lord himself, right? The Brahma wants this one. And let's go back to the canto 1 or 2, where Brahma, when he had four sons, Sanat Kumara, right? That all the Sanat Kumaras, when they decided that, oh, we don't want to be married, that time, what is the reaction of the Brahma? Anyone remember? When he said, okay, I don't want to get having the children's, what the Brahma said?
The Prabhuji got very angry.
He was very angry.
And
So
then
what is the result of that one when he becomes so angry?
Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva appeared because of that angerness. That's why Lord Shiva is the representation of angerness. But in the chapter 2, when everyone is cursing, Lord Shiva is not angry. He is great Vaishnava. He is not angry every time. Only he is showing his angerness when is really needed, when someone is offending his own disciple, his wife, his own, because his wife, Sati, didn't have any children. But she is a great, great devotee of Lord Shiva. So when someone offended their devotees, he cannot tolerate. So that is the one thing. So now moving to the chapter number 2. So again, please go through the chapter number 1. If you really read it, I'm going to ask few questions. Particular name or that person. So if you can figure out, then I know that, okay, you read at least something. I'm going to ask very basic questions in next class. So I know who are here. So you should be reading chapter number 1, canto 4. And I'm going to ask 2 or 3 questions. You should not forget if you read it. Okay. So that is the homework. So let's jump into the chapter number 2, where, as I mentioned, the chapter number 2 is very interesting, where we understand the Vaishnava's qualities. And the cursing, that time the cursing versus cursing in the Kali Yuga, because there are a lot of time you heard Daksh Maharaj is cursing, then Nandeshwar is cursing. So that cursing in the material world, if you curse, oh, I curse you, is it going to impact? Why? Let's say you are a pure Brahmana and you want to curse someone. Is this going to impact? Oh, I curse you, you will die in 7 days.
That potency is still not there in Kali Yuga.
Yeah. As such, here Prabhupada says that when the Brahmana curse, it will immediately impact. But in the Kali Yuga, cursing by any Brahmana is not impacted. Why? Because the Brahmanas are not pure. Their qualifications, as we said in the Rupa Goswami and we read in the Bhagavad-gita also, so many qualities of the Brahmanas. One is the humility and honesty, cleanliness. But let's go with the honesty and the humility. As soon someone will say something, we will respond back immediately. Humility gaya bhad mein. We will immediately thrash him. How dare you can do this? This kind of the Brahmana we are now, right? We don't have single 1% of tolerance. Tolerance is another quality of the Brahmana. Like Shiva shows very clearly. He's so tolerated. In front of so many great sages, and the Brahma was sitting there. When the Daksh was cursing, he didn't say a single word. This is the tolerance. He's not accepting, he's not accepting, okay, everyone should give me the respect. He just left that assembly. Everyone is requesting, Brahma is requesting, please don't go. Before that one, they requested, Daksh, you should not be speaking that kind of thing to the Lord Shiva. But he didn't understood the position of Lord Shiva. He was thinking, oh, my daughter, I gave my daughter to Lord Shiva by the request of Brahma, and now because I gave my daughter, so he is my son-in-law. He's thinking, oh, I'm a Prajapati. He should be giving me the respect. How come he is not giving me the respect? So that kind of mentality means Daksh wants a lot of respect. With that, he curse. The curse is he is using the very bad words. Like he is giving that, okay, you are living in the filthy place. If you are really at like a demigod at the higher level, you should be wearing the garland. Instead of the garland, you are wearing what? The garland of the skull. Sometimes you are madly dancing, sometimes madly crying, putting the ashes. You are not taking bath. That kind of words he was using in front of all the great assemblies. If someone will say, okay, if one of them, if someone will tell, oh, you didn't take bath, you are so filthy, immediately we will throw some words. Correct? But Lord Shiva, so calm and peaceful. These are the qualities of our Lord. Lord Krishna himself wants to take insult on him, but he don't want to take insult on his devotees. These shows that the quality of the real Vaishnavas, real Lord, right? How we can build those kind of quality. That's where the thing is. When we hear this one, is very, very important for us. How we can grab 1% of that tolerance, 1% of that patience, that when someone will say something, just quiet and calm. Okay, before moving and reading the text of the chapter 2, but I forgot one thing, very good benefit of the chapter number 1. What is that benefit? Why I'm asking you to read that chapter? Anyone want to get? We have definitely one benefit. What could be that benefit? Just think of, just reading that chapter itself, you will get so much of benefit. One of the best benefit. Because of that, we are suffering here. Anyone want to guess?
Prabhuji, so that we can learn to be tolerant and humble.
Yeah, we learn to be humble. Yeah, first chapter, we are talking about all the Swambhavu Manu and all the progenies and everyone. If you read that just chapter, we will get super benefit. What is that benefit? Yeah, Mataji, your answer is right. Yeah, we will be humble. But what is the another benefit? That is supposed to be my question. But I want that one, that if you read this chapter, you will get what?
You already gave one question out of the 3 questions.
Yeah. Just think that what you really want from this life. And it will give you just reading this chapter. Just guess, don't go through the chapter. Someone is start reading, okay, let me quickly glance in this one.
Liberation, bhakti.
That is also good. Well, yeah, that is answer. Anyone else wants to guess? Just reading this chapter, you will get rid of something.
It will talk about all the Manus and where we are currently.
Yeah, when you read this one, yeah. What else? This is very good test itself. Anyone wants to guess more further? How many sins we have? From many, many birth.
Unlimited.
Just reading this chapter, your all the sin will go away. What is the benefit, right? Hardly take 10 minutes, at least read only translation. Yeah, maybe 15 minutes. But reading this one chapter will get rid of all your sin.
The Prabhuji, then we should be reading it every day.
We should be reading every day. That's why the Prabhupada says, read the Bhagavatam every day. So all the sinful reactions will be relieved. So let me read that text. Is the text number 46 and 47. My dear Vidura, the populations of the universe was thus increased by the descendant of these sages and the daughter of Kardama Muni. Anyone who hear the description of this dynasty with faith will relieve from all sinful reactions. Another of Manu's daughter, known as Prasuti, the third one, married the son of Brahma named Daksh. So Daksh dynasty will go from that one. So, but the thing is, this chapter is so powerful. And second is, there are prayers, like almost 24 or 26 prayers in the Bhagavatam. We know that these prayers are Gajendra prayer, Kunti prayer, Dhruva prayer. So all this prayer is also, if you read all these prayers one after another, end of the prayer, like Gajendra prayer clearly says that all your sin will be wiped out. So similarly, so when we read any one paragraph, one chapter or anything from the Bhagavatam, it will help us to go closer to the Lord. This is the very bit. When I was reading this one, I said, it's very nice. Just reading their dynasty with the faith. We all have the faith. That's why we are sitting here. We want to learn. We want to understand all the Leelas of the Krishna so that we can make this life successful. So coming back to chapter 2, Daksh cursed the Lord Shiva. That is the chapter. So I gave you the very high level summary of this chapter, but we will read all the translation. Everyone the same. I will go through one after another. So let's take 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go 4 shlokas. Only the translation. The summary of this one, just focus on the humility. Focus on the tolerance part of the Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is not a normal personality. We know that he is taking all the materialistic and in the passion, ignorance part, right? He's the Lord of the ignorance. But it doesn't mean that he is in the ignorance. He is the Lord of ignorance. He's controlling that part. So Prabhupada mentioned few other things. When the Daksh curse, Prabhupada mentioned in his purport, as there are the 3 qualities, bad qualities, which will lead into the hellish life. What are the 3 bad qualities? We should immediately get rid of all 3 of them immediately. What are 3s?
Anger.
Perfect. What are the other 2?
Lust.
Yeah. Third? Greed. Lust, anger and greed. These are the 3 things. If you have it, means we are going toward the hellish life, no matter what. So Prabhupada mentioned in his purport that the angerness, the way the Daksh shows that, what is going to be happening to him. So we will read more on the chapter 3 and 4, but let's go through the Daksh part. So I will read first 4 and then we will go from there. So text number 1, Vidura inquired, why was Daksh, who was so affectionate toward his daughter, envious of the Lord Shiva, who is the best among the gentle? Why did he neglect his own daughter Sati? Text 2, Lord Shiva, the spiritual master of the entire world, is free from enmity, is a peaceful personality, and is always satisfied in himself. He is the greatest among the demigod. How is it possible that Daksh could be inimical towards such a auspicious personality? Number 3, my dear Maitreya, to part with the one's life is very difficult. Would you kindly explain to me how such a son-in-law and father-in-law could quarrel so bitterly that the great goddess Sati could give up her life? Number 4, the sage Maitreya said, in a former time, the leader of the universal creations performed a great sacrifice in which all the great sages, philosophers, demigod, and the fire god assemble with their followers. Let's go. Achintya Prabhu, you want to read next 4? Very
Yes, Prabhu.
nice. So these are the questions from the Vidura asking Maitreya Muni, as we learned that Vidura was going in the pilgrimage, and in this conversation happening in what place? Anyone remember? Where they met the Maitreya Muni. We learn. Anyone? We have so sharp memory that we remember everything.
Prabhuji, on the
Snigdha.
banks of Ganga. Sorry.
Yeah, is close to Ganga. What is the place name? Haridwar. Okay, so let's go through that one. So if we keep constantly reading, it will be easy, because I'm trying to give this class, so I was keep on reading. Okay, where they met last time. Anyway, so let's go to the next 4 shloka. Text number 5. Achintya Prabhu.
Text 5. When Daksha, the leader of the Prajapatis, entered that assembly, his personal bodily lust luster, as bright as the effulgence of the sun, the entire assembly was illuminated, and all the assembled personalities became insignificant in his presence. Text 6. Influenced by his personal bodily luster, all the fire gods and other participants in that great assembly, with the exceptions of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, gave up their own sitting places and stood in respect for Daksha. Text 7. Daksha was adequately welcomed by the president of the great assembly, Lord Brahma. After offering Lord Brahma respect, Daksha, by the order of Brahma, properly took his seat. Text 8. Before taking his seat, however, Daksha was very much offended to see Lord Shiva sitting and not showing him any respect. At that time, Daksha became greatly angry, and his eyes glowing, he began to speak very strongly against Lord Shiva.
Very nice. So what we come to know, one thing is, Daksha was also not very small personality. His bodily luster is bright as effulgence of the sun, and he's a Prajapati, matlab like a president. When he comes, everyone should stand. We know that, like whenever we have the union meeting, the president will come, everyone stand and claps. But Brahma, who is the father of everyone, so he didn't stand, because that makes sense. And why the Lord Shiva didn't stand? He was thinking Lord Shiva is also the son of Brahma. He is very great personality, but he is thinking in other side that I gave my daughter to this matlab son-in-law, so he should give me the same respect as all other personality. That was the feelings. He was expecting that except Brahma, everyone should stand. So there is the one another way is the any great personality or the Brahmanas, humility is the key. He's expecting the respect from other. That is should not be the good sign for any Vaishnavas. Okay, let's go to the next. Prasanna Mataji.
Text 9. All sages, Brahmins, and fire gods present, please hear me with attention, for I speak about the manners of gentle persons. I do not speak out of ignorance or envy. Text 10. Shiva has spoiled the name and fame of the governors of the universe and has polluted the path of gentle manners. Because he is shameless, he does not know how to act. Text 11. He has already accepted himself as my subordinate by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and Brahmins. He has married my daughter, who is equal to Gayatri, and has pretended to be just like an honest person. Text 12. He has eyes like a monkey's, yet he has married my daughter, whose eyes are just like those of a deer cub. Nevertheless, he did not stand up to receive me, nor did he think it fit to welcome me with sweet words.
Very nice. Here the thing is, now these are the insulting point. He said monkey, and he's saying to his daughter as eyes of deer cub. Anyone, any parents will, doesn't matter the how, whatever the condition my kids are, we always praise them. Oh, so beautiful, right? So he's appreciating his own daughter, but at the same time, the great personality is saying that his eyes is like a monkey's. And another thing is, in the purport of Prabhupada mentioned that one, he's saying that I gave my daughter because Brahma wants it. Another, this is the insulting that he doesn't want his daughter to give in to Shiva, but because Brahma says. So now the same time he's not insulting Shiva, he's insulting his own father Brahma also. This is the great offense there. If you see comparison, just we say, oh, this person is so ugly, kind of thing. We never say that one, but anyway, so that happens, like in मजाक में भी हम लोग कहते हैं कभी तो but in this he's angry, seriously, he's super angry with the red eyes so much. Then he starts speaking that one, that in the presence of the fire and the brahmanas, I gave my daughter because Brahma, you asked me to give. Now this person who is look like a eyes like a monkey and who got married to my daughter who is like a deer eyes, and he's not talking about in front of one-on-one, he's talking in front of so many great personalities, Prajapati and even the Brahma is sitting there. It's a great insult. But he, the Lord himself, Lord Shiva, he didn't say a single word. This is a very, very nice. The Prabhupada gave few words. I think hopefully I will get more details about the Lord Shiva and the personality from different acharyas. What are their commenting? There are few, but this chapter doesn't have much of like a lot of things. But this is the thing. Let's go to Snigdha. I'm going through my whoever is the one after another. Then Rajiv Sham after Snigdha. Then Karthik. Yes, Mataji.
I had no desire to give my daughter to this person, who has broken all rules of civility. Because of not observing the required rules and regulations, he is impure, but I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him, just as one teaches the messages of the Vedas to a Shudra. He lives in filthy places like crematoriums, and his companions are the ghosts and demons. Naked like a madman, sometimes laughing and sometimes crying, he smears crematorium ashes all over his body. He does not bathe regularly, and he ornaments his body with a garland of skulls and bones. Therefore, only in name is he Shiva, or auspicious. Actually, he is the most mad and inauspicious creature. Thus, he is very dear to crazy beings in the gross mode of ignorance, and he is their leader. On the request of Lord Brahma, I handed over my chaste daughter to him, although he is devoid of all cleanliness, and his heart is filled with nasty things.
Yeah, again, this is a great insult again. The Shiva mean is auspicious. And he, in front of everyone, he's saying that this is not an inauspicious creature. And he was giving all the explanation, right? He live in the cremation thing. He put the garland of the skulls and the bones kind of thing. So he was continue doing that one. And now let's go to the next four. Rajiv Sham Prabhu.
Text 17. The sage Maitreya continued. Thus, Dakṣa, seeing Lord Shiva sitting as if against him, washed his hands and mouth and cursed him in the following words. Text 18. Demigods are eligible to share the oblations of sacrifice, but Lord Shiva, who is lowest of all the demigods, should not have a share. Maitreya continued. My dear Vidura, in spite of the requests of all members of the sacrificial assembly, Dakṣa, in great anger, cursed Lord Shiva and then left the assembly and went back to his home. Text 20. Upon understanding that Lord Shiva had been cursed, Nandishvara, one of Lord Shiva's principal associate, became greatly angry. His eyes became red, and he prepared to curse Dakṣa and all the Brahmanas present there who had tolerated Dakṣa's cursing Shiva in harsh words. Thank
Very
you,
nice.
Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. So here, Daksh Maharaj, he was keep on cursing with that one. And after that angerness, he left the assembly. But here the challenge is, uh, whenever this happened, right? So most of the supporter, now all the brahmanas and other sages should stop Daksh. Some of them, they didn't do it. That's why the Nandeshwar becomes so angry that how come these sages who are sitting there, they are just listening. So they are not truly the brahmanas. And this is the sacrifice place. This assemble, they starting the sacrifice place. And at the same time, Daksha, what he's saying is, because all the sacrifice, they have the benefit. Everyone will distribute the benefit. And Daksha says that we should not give any benefit to this person. After saying that one, he left, and the Nadeshwar is thinking that when he was talking and at this assembly, no one is stopping him or is like saying that this is not the proper statement or etiquette for any personality like the Prajapati, the Daksh Prajapati should be saying that harsh word. So now we will continue that. Now the Nandeshwar is cursing all the Brahmanas and sages who are sitting there. He's saying that you are literally, you are not the Brahmanas, kind of thing. Let's continue. Karthik Prabhu.
Text 21. Anyone who has accepted Daksha as the most important personality and neglected Lord Shiva because of envy is less intelligent, and because of visualizing his duality will bereft of transcendental knowledge. 22. Essentially religious householder life in which one is attracted to material happiness and thus also attracted to the superficial explanation of the Vedas robs one of all intelligence and attaches one to fruitive activities as all in all. Daksha has accepted the body as all in all. Therefore, since he has forgotten the Vishnupada or Vishnu Gati and is attached to sex life only, within a short time he will have the face of a goat. Those who have become as dull as matter by cultivating materialistic education and intelligence are nascently involved in fruitive activities. Such men have purposely insulted Lord Shiva. May they continue in the cycle of repeated birth and death.
Very nice. Thanks, Karthik. So
Kirtana is
here,
also here, Lakshman.
who are there?
Kirtana is here.
Kirtana is there. Okay. So yeah, we'll have her. But here the thing, the 2 point here is, Prabhupada gave the purport in this one. Please read that one. He was talking about the cursing, that Nandeshwar cursing the sitting Brahmanas who are about to perform the sacrifice. He cursed them. What curse is? Repeated birth and death. At the beginning I said, when we curse or any Brahmana curse in this Kali Yuga, does he has any impact? No, because these Brahma are not pure. So over the period he was giving that one, the Brahmana is not going to have that kind of potencies. So these curses are coming from our Nandeshwar. Over the period the Brahmanas become more polluted. They are not literally like purity is not there. This is what the Nandeshwar says. And the Prabhupada is giving the more details, some of the things about the qualities of the Brahmanas. If I born in the Brahmanas family, that's where the Prabhupada mentioned there. Brahman in the Brahmana families, it doesn't means that you are a Brahmanas. And he is giving the reference to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If any person's born as a Shudras also, he giving the example of Ramanand Rai and Haridas Thakur. They are from the lowest family. But if the person is determined to perform his practice as the sadhana and performing the Krishna consciousness, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that he can elevate himself beyond the Brahmanas. He is giving that one. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proven that one, that if you born no matter in the dog eater family, but if you give up everything and do the Krishna consciousness, then you will elevate and you can easily become in the Kali Yuga as the Brahmanas. But that is the one thing. So these curse, In the purport also, Prabhupada mentioned some of the reference from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lectures, from his teaching. Okay, yes, Kirtana, please go ahead. 25 to 28.
May those who are enemies of Lord Shiva, being attracted by the flowery language of the enchanting Vedic promises, and who have thus become dull, always remain attached to fruited activities. These brahmanas take to education, austerity, and vows only for the purpose of maintaining the body. They shall be devoid of discrimination between what to eat and what not to eat. They will acquire money, begging from door to door, simply for the satisfaction of the body. When all the hereditary brahmanas were thus cursed by Nandiswara, the sage Ruku, as a reaction, condemned the followers of Lord Shiva with this very strong Brahmanical curse. One who takes a vow to satisfy Lord Shiva or who follows such principles will certainly become an atheist and be diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions.
Very nice. So here again, the further cursing this, what the Nandeshwar is accepting from the Brahmana is they should be acquire the money begging from door to door and simply satisfied of this body. But nowadays, we know that the Brahmanas is not that kind of thing. Some of the Brahmanas are super rich. They are performing these activities only to gain all the sense gratifications and the performance thing. But the true Brahmanas, why he's taking in that reference, if you see that one, because the sacrifice is going on, and the Brahmanas who are sitting there or the sages who are sitting there, they are just getting the benefit of that sacrifice. That should not be the quality of only of the Brahmanas. They should be just living to sustain this body. These are the qualities. So this is another curse from Nandeshwar to the Brahmanas. So let me read. Whoever missed, anyone wants to read? If 28 is over, let's do one thing. Two Snigdha and two Kirtana. Kirtana, please read two more. 29 and 30. Then we will go to Snigdha.
Those who vow to worship Lord Shiva are so foolish that they imitate him by keeping long hair on their heads. When initiated into worship of Lord Shiva, they prefer to live on mind, flesh, and other such things. Bhrigu Muni continued, since you blaspheme the Vedas and the Brahmanas, who are followers of the Vedic principle, it is understood that you have already taken shelter of the doctrine of atheism.
Yeah. So there is a one lecture Prabhupada mentioned about the people who truly the follower of the Shiva, right? Who are really the true followers. They don't want to imitate the quality, imitate to the Shiva thing, right? The Shiva drank the so much of poison when the Sagar Manthan happened. We will read more that one. The people are thinking that, okay, the Shiva has the long hair, I will keep the long hair. Shiva is smoking marijuana or ganja or any of the things. Okay, because Shiva is doing it, I should do it. We should not imitate. We should follow his teaching and the preaching. That's what the Prabhupada very strongly, yesterday I was listening to, it was not the Bhagavatam class, but it was the Bhagavad-gita class where Prabhupada was very strongly telling the people who are in the Vrindavan and who are trying to follow or imitate all the activities or the lila which Krishnas perform. Like Sahajiya is the one term we used in the Mathura and Vrindavan. These people, they wear a dress like a gopis. They are male, but they wear the dress like a gopis and performing those activities. Those kind of imitate is not good. So similarly, he was giving the example of Lord Shiva. They're thinking that, okay, Lord Shiva is drinking, he is eating, or whatever that thing is. They want to literally imitate that thing, which is not good. What he was saying is, we should follow that path, like Rupa Nuga Bhakti. When you read the Nectar of Devotion, it says that we should follow him. Follow means follow his instructions, follow his preachings, what we can take in our day-to-day lives. So similarly, this is very touching topic for many of us also. For me, when I was, now still I am a devotee of Lord Shiva also. Because when high school, in the college, I used to do regularly. I going there, doing the archana, taking the prasadam, but when never mind thoughts is, oh, I should imitate what he is doing. We were just connected with him. We feel very nice going there, offering whatever he likes, and then come back. Now, some of the followers of the Shiva is like way ahead and they want to imitate. That is not correct. This is what Nandeshwar and the purport of the Prabhupada is saying. This is again, I would say that very sensitive topic. Who are very great follower of Shiva, I say that you should be follower of Shiva, but follow his instructions. Prabhupada clearly mentioned in the purport also. There is nothing wrong. He is a great Vaishnavas, is the topmost personality. But we should be learning the lesson, which the learning lesson for us is how he is able to tolerate. When we know that Shiva is always remembered as he is a very great angerness person. His angerness, no one can stand. But now, in the front of everyone, and when everyone's insulting so much, he is so calm and peaceful. These are the lessons. That is the great personality showing that one, right? So let two other, Snigdha, can you read two more, 31 and 32?
The Vedas give the eternal regulative principles for auspicious advancement in human civilization, which have been rigidly followed in the past. The strong evidence of this principle is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is called Janardana, the well-wisher of all living entities. By blaspheming the principles of the Vedas, which are the pure and supreme path of the saintly persons, certainly you followers of Bhutapati, Lord Shiva, will descend to the standard of atheism without a doubt.
Right. So again the curse is going back and forth. And Bhutapati is all the ghost. He is the head of the ghost. And he live near to the cremation center. So they are talking about that one. So this has happened, right? So after the curse, Nandeshwar is cursing all the Brahmanas and the sages. And Daksh already cursed the Lord Shiva. After this is the very good, like 3 shlokas. Let me read this one, 3 of them. The sage Maitreya said, when such cursing and the counter cursing was going on between the Lord Shiva followers and the parties of the Daksh and the Bhrigu, Lord Shiva became very morose. Not saying anything, he left the arena of the sacrifice, followed by his disciple. Number 34, the sage Maitreya continued, O Vidura, all the progenitors of the universal population thus executed a sacrifice for thousands of years, for sacrifice is the best way to worship the Supreme Lord Hari, the personality of Godhead. My dear Vidura, carrier of bows and arrows, all the demigods who were performing the sacrifice took their bath at the confluence of the Ganges and the Yamuna after completing the yagna performance. Such a bath is called avabhadta snana. After thus becoming purified in the heart, they departed for their respective abode. So the sacrifice went on for many years, and the Lord Shiva already left. And then the sacrifice, after their sacrifice, there is another functions or marriage or something is going on where the Sati and the Lord Shiva, we will come to know in the chapter 3 and 4, they didn't got invitation. That's where the more climax scenes will come in picture, where Sati will got insulted by their family members and the Daksh. That's where the Lord Shiva angerness will came in picture. So here what we learn is, and we heard many times, whenever someone is insulting our Guru or our Lord, in that place, better we should immediately leave. If you cannot say anything, that happens. Like we have some kind of, you are sitting in the place where most of the majority people are atheism. And they will see that, okay, how you will, there's a lot of argument, counter argument, how you know that this is truth, these are all mythological. Better you should be leave that place. You should not be sitting there. Sometimes we know that argument, we have the complete facts, the shlokas and reference. If you don't remember, don't take the insult, just leave it. These are the one of the example and instruction from Prabhupada also. When we preach, we should preach like a lion with the complete faith. If some places, some people are insulting and they don't have respect for our acharyas and our shastras, better to leave that place. This is the one of the example which we get from our acharyas. With that, so this chapter will give very good information. You can read. There are few proper Prabhupada mentions, but these two chapters I would recommend at least read once, then you will get. But the first chapter is, it has lot of names. It's very difficult, but at least Swambhavu Manu and some primary names you can remember. And there is a one, as I said, like is a homework for everyone. I'm going to ask question next week. There are few names which you should remember, and you will remember, I know. So if you read it, you will remember. So next week we will have some question answers, and I'm going to ask questions. So this, with that, let me pause here.